Tao or Tao Takedown is a pretty simple strategy, but it's really effective when you realize what's going on behind it. Sorry, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the TAO in the Gen 5 Pokemon with the yin yang, but here I lead Magneton and Reshiram. Magneton, it has the sunny day. You can see the purpose of that right now. I get a boost to my fire moves, and Reshiram has fire attacks. Lunala's Moongeist Beam, that was kind of scary. It bypasses Sturdy. If this one-shotted, I couldn't finish my setup. But I managed to do it. Tailwind comes out from the Reshiram. I'm doing well. And then that Ultra Necrozma hits Reshiram with Power Gem, not much. I get in my Electric Terrain. This is the other half. And it's almost time to get the ball rolling. Fusion Flare comes out onto the Steel type. And it's a one-shot. Fire from a legendary that is stabbed with Sun and Life Orb. It's pretty good. However, Lunala has Shadow Shield. I wasn't sure how much it was going to take. I definitely need a lot more firepower for that, or should I say electro power. And that perfect timing. Magneton went down. In comes the Zekrom. And the opponent sends in Blaziken. I was fully expecting that to be Protect on the first turn. There's the Mega Blaziken, maybe not Protect. There's not really too much of a reason to run Mega Blaziken over regular Blaziken, since they both have the same ability. Sometimes it's better to diversify the item. There's Fusion Bolt. And out comes Fusion Flare. So in these first couple battles that I recorded, I was testing the speeds of my 3 legendaries. I wanted Zekrom to be between Reshiram and Kyurem. And that's why I did not hold an air balloon. That berry is pretty good for my defenses, as you can see there. The Shuckle Berry is really helpful, and since it's not an air balloon, I'm grounded, which means that I get the benefit of the electric terrain. Out comes the opposing white Kyurem. It retains its ice type, so Reshiram will be helpful there. And something I've noticed about these animations, they actually would change depending on which one is used first, because their secondary effect increases their power if the other one happened before. So it's harder to see with Fusion Flare, but it gets bigger with it. Fusion Bolt, it's easier to see. I'll point it out as it goes. Up next is Folded. Full legendary team. He has the Marshadow. He has a Darkrai. But why he didn't go for Darkrai? First, Darkrai's Dark Void, I'm not quite sure. Even at 50% each, that's a 75% chance that at least one of mine will be put to sleep. Turbo Blaze would negate its abilities when I'm offensive, and that's a foul play onto a special attacker. With a crit. Not much. Force Palm comes out of the Magneton. That's a critical hit. Sturdy comes through. I get in my electric terrain. I was actually expecting Dark Voids, so I wanted to get that out first. Reshiram has the Tailwind. Darkrai is really fast. Marshadow's decently fast. Wasn't sure what would happen. Sunny Day. I managed to get them both out. I was really expecting something like a Sucker Punch or a Shadow Sneak to finish me off. Foul play again. Reshiram's down to about a quarter. I decided to reflect here because I wasn't sure what Marshadow was going to do. Nope. Finished off the Magneton. But with that reflect, foul play should be dealing less damage, and my physical attacker is now on the field. Both of them have that ability that negates abilities. Another foul play. Darkrai is still too fast. I use Fusion Bolt. Now it's time to play Where's the Focus Sash? I thought it was on Darkrai, so I double focused Darkrai. But now that Darkrai's down, Fusion Flare will aim for the Marshadow. I guessed poorly. I have chosen poorly. Reshiram goes down to the Life Orb. Ice Punch hits the Zekrom. And it's Kyurem White's turn to come in. This is the battle where I realized that I messed up my speeds. I then spent a couple battles online just trying to figure out the speeds. I did not save those ones. I wanted to get the runs better before I saved them. Here's Fusion Bolt. Here's where I realized that my speeds were off. But Yveltal, it's still a one-shot. Electric Terrain, Legendary. Even with no item boosts, it's good. Here's Fusion Flare. Maybe his windup is also more powerful. Well, I'll have to see when we compare in the later battles. I lose my Tailwind this turn, but he's already down to 1. The Mewtwo. I'm too nervous to eat berries. I still got my ground berry, but it's not often that Mewtwo runs something with a ground type. That's the Mewtwo Y. It's super speedy, special attacker. And the Aura Sphere comes out onto my ice type. Kyurem. It has the choice specs so that I can deal even more damage on top of Sun, on top of the terrain. On top of the Sun, since it doesn't have stab. Another fully legendary team from Graham. I wonder if he got tired with his kingly quest. And I think this was the point where I finally fixed the speed, so you'll finally see what it looks like when Fusion Bolt and Fusion Flare switch speed tiers. Again, with the legendaries, shiny leads. How are so many collectors with viable Pokemon getting online in such a short time? I mean, it doesn't take that long for me to to bury down an IV and then SOS it up to a specific level. Mega Rayquaza comes down. As long as that's on the field, I cannot use my Sunny Day. Reshiram is one shot by the Draco Meteor, but with that special attack drop, I doubt that it will be a repeat. And it's Life Orb to boot. I get in my Electric Terrain. The only thing I can set up on the circuitry, Jirachi goes for the Moonblast. And my special attack drops, lucky him. I send in my Zekrom. It's like both of these legendaries have max attack or special attack and max HP. Rayquaza goes for the Earthquake. There's my Shucka Berry. Circuitry, it's going down. I don't care. I switched to Circuitry from Magaton because Circuitry was more of misdirection. People see the Circuitry, they think Beast Boost, they think Discharge, they think it's dangerous. Another Moonblast onto Zekrom, and another special attack drop. But I have time to get in my Tailwind. Out comes the Kyurem with its own Turbo Blaze. Thankfully, I'm faster. Now look, Fusion Flare. This is what it looks like when it goes first. Now watch for the little dots into lightning bolts that happen with Fusion Bolt here. Because previously it only created 1. You see that ring of 5? And how it's more widespread? That's really cool. Still having a harder time noticing Fusion Flare though. But that's enough to take out a Rayquaza at neutral. All not very effective. In comes Dialga and Palkia. Well, one of them is neutral to fire, one of them is neutral to electric. I know what I want to do. Pressure is really annoying since I am spec'd into Fusion Flare. This was the turn where I got to see some tankiness out of these opponents. If I managed to get Sunny Day up, darn you, darn it, Rayquaza. But Sunny Day would have been enough for me to one-shot that Dialga. Now it's just down to our last Pokemon. I'm faster, thanks to Tailwind, and I have the Fusion Flare. And even if I wasn't faster, War of Time is a recharge move. So I had that in the bag. Graham, go stick to your puzzles. Next up is Sun Aid. Starters plus an Ultra Necroza, a Dawnwings Necrozma. Sun Aid, let's battle. The lead is the Decidueye in Dawnwings Necrozma. I've got my Electric Terrain Sunsetter. I believe he also has Discharge for when Zekrom comes in, and does he get Energy Ball? I forgot. I never used that move, but I just put a coverage move in there just in case Reshiram had trouble. Lots of legendaries running that Rock Attack. And there's the Energy Ball into Circuitry. That breaks Sash. Here's a Sunny Day. I can now get my Fire up. And Fusion Flare. It's aimed for the Necrozma. I was kind of afraid of it going Ultra. Power Gem again. Reshiram is super low. And a Spirit Shackle comes out of the Decidueye this time. And for the Circuitry, it's enough to finish it off. I guess I won't be trapped in with you. I really wanted to get him out. Out comes a Zekrom again. And I am barely faster, which is good. Fusion Bolt onto the Dawnwings. That'll finish it off. See, that Ring of 5 further Thunderbolts didn't come out. And now for a doubled, Sun boosted, Stab boosted, Life Orb boosted Fusion Flare onto the Decidueye. Looks like he didn't have the Focus Sash needed to win. Base 200 damage, 300 under Sun, 450 under Stab. Okay, what's 1/3 of 450? Just 150? Yeah, base 600 damage approximately due to Life Orb. That is a little strong. And I thought Scizor had the base multiplier. Intimidate, that's going to be bad for Zekrom, but now Zekrom is slower, so he gets the double. Fusion Flare onto Incineroar. I probably should have doubled up on the Primarina so that I could double check for Sash. I knew that Fusion Flare wouldn't be enough to one-shot the Incineroar. But Fusion Bolt, you saw that ring that time. Overkill onto a super effective Primarina. Drain Punch comes out onto the Ice type, a really smart move. And since I'm a legendary, I have higher stats, meaning that he gets more HP than other Pokemon. But it's now a double focus fusion combo onto Incineroar. It's going to be a wipe from here. So a more straightforward team from me, controlling the speed so that either of them could be faster, setting up the Sun and the Electric Terrain. Try this out. It's really easy.